wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears, thank you for the moments that we...
Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I got through the night without resorting to eating any sugar or any carbs, and I slept fine. I woke up this morning. The fans are still going. They're going to be going for at least another day as far as we know, but things are getting resolved, and they're not so stressful after all. I've managed to realize, in the whole grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, and it should be taken care of within the next week or so. So I'm not even going to dwell on it. But tonight I wanted to talk to you about me going on the carnivore diet, and it's really kind of odd that I would choose to go on the carnivore diet since I'm more of a natural person. I like herbs and holistic medicine. I even have a couple degrees in that. I have a couple hippy dippy degrees as a master herbalist and in holistic medicine. So it seems kind of odd that I would choose to do carnivore rather than doing a plant-based diet. But I did do the vegetarian diet years ago. I did give it a try for about 6 months, and I didn't notice any difference. I didn't feel any better. I didn't lose any weight. It was kind of hard because I really wasn't enjoying it. I mean, I do like fruits and vegetables, but that's all I was eating, and starchy foods, carbohydrates, and I ended up getting more addicted to carbohydrates at that point, because instead of filling up on lots of fruits and vegetables, which is kind of hard to do really, I would eat like rice and pasta, breads, and as we know now, they are filling those foods with more and more sugars to make them taste better, and they already had very low nutritional value, but now they are loaded with all this extra sugar to make them taste better, but it's so unhealthy. It made me gain weight. I started feeling terrible, and it was a slow process. It didn't happen right away, but yeah, I did that. Like I said, I did it for 6 months, and then I quit, and then I went back to what I thought was a healthy, balanced diet. They told us, the standard American diet, what a balanced diet is. And so I, decided to follow that because I thought that made sense. That would be a healthier way to go. Well, now that we know that Big Pharma and the food industry are working together to make our foods less nutritious, but more flavorful, and they're doing this to, I want to say they're doing it to make us sick, because that's what's happening. It's making us sicker. Our population now is more overweight than they've ever been. We're sicker than we've ever been. We have higher cases of depression than ever. People are on antidepressants. They can't sleep. They have anxiety. It goes on and on and on. And we know that it's related to the food and all the garbage that they're putting into it that we're consuming. But the same people that are doing that are also the same people that funded the studies and came up with the balanced diet, the standard American diet. It's the same people. They're the ones that told us, this is what a healthy diet is. And it's so hard for us because we've been so indoctrinated all these years to believe, what's healthy. And even though we believe that they are messing with our foods and, you know, adding all this garbage to it, it's still hard for us to believe that the pyramid, the healthy food pyramid, is wrong. We still think that's the guideline to follow, and it's not, and it never was. But that's what they told us, because they did studies which were funded by these people. And so it's so hard for people, even myself, to wrap my head around the fact that a balanced diet is not just eating, you know, fruits and vegetables and lots of carbs, processed flour, and all these additives and preservatives that are in our foods. I mean, you go to the grocery store and the food that's in our store now is not the same food that was in our grocery store even 20 years ago. We can't even read most of the ingredients that are in our foods. Unless you're eating whole foods, you're getting a bunch of other stuff that you don't want. And like highly processed flours, sugar, and it's under, there are so many different names for sugar. So if it, just because it doesn't say sugar or fructose or dextrose, there's a bunch of other names that it's going under now, and I don't even know them all, but you can look it up and you'll be amazed at all the different names for sugar. They managed to put it in just about everything, and the sugar is addicting. It is highly addictive. And even if you don't eat sweet foods, you can still be addicted to sugar. You know, people say, "Oh, I don't eat sweets. I don't have a problem with sugar. I don't eat sweets." Do you eat bread? Do you eat cereals? Pasta? You'd be surprised how many of them have lots of sugar in them. Not just a little bit. Some of them have even more than like a bottle of soda, which you know has sugar. You know, they're blatant about that. But in other foods that aren't supposed to contain them, they kind of try to hide it, but it's there. And the amount is overwhelming, way more than what you should be consuming. But anyway, yeah, I'm saying all this because I was addicted to sugar, and the only way that I was able to kick my sugar habit was with the carnivore diet. I couldn't do that with a plant-based diet, because when you're a vegetarian, you still eat fruit, and fruit has sugar in it. It's not the same as refined sugar, I know, but it's still sugar. And as long as you consume it in moderation, well, as an addict, I can't. When I taste sugar, I want more sugar. And so I wasn't eating it in moderation. Probably the majority of my diet at that time was fruits. I was having, you know, fruit smoothies and, you know, watermelon, which is really high in sugar, and mangoes, and I would make fruit salads, and, you know, I had myself convinced I was eating healthy. I would eat some vegetables, not a lot. And yeah, I actually gained a few pounds while I was doing that, and it just fueled my sugar addiction. So the only way to actually kick the sugar was to eat more protein, which is what a carnivore diet is: proteins and fats. And even though you know, the dietary guideline tells us that we shouldn't eat as much proteins, meats, because then we'll be full and we won't want to eat as much of the carbs and all the other stuff they want us to eat. That's, even though that's what they're telling us, we know that's not right. You know, it just doesn't make sense. And so I think most of us are becoming enlightened, and we're trying our best. We all want to be healthy. We're all tired of being sick and tired, but we still have that skepticism when you talk about being a carnivore. That still just doesn't slide by. You know, it's still wrong, because like I said, we've been indoctrinated to believe that that's not healthy. And I can only tell you from experience, what it's done for me and how much better I feel. You know, I'm sleeping better. I've gotten rid of all my inflammation, which was causing all my joints to ache. I had pain in my knee. I had headaches. So all that's gone. I'm sleeping better. I have way more energy. I don't have gas and bloating or any kind of issues like constipation or diarrhea. I'm totally regular. Um, just there's just so many things that it has helped with that there's no denying that this is healthy, this is good. And not just me, there's so many other people that are saying the same thing, not just on YouTube, but you know, you go online and there's Dr. Ken Berry, who's probably the most famous for, you know, talking about not just carnivore but ketovore, the ketogenic diet, and how that helps everyone. But there's also, you know, there's so many wonderful YouTube sites. There's Homestead How. I've talked about that one a lot. Carrie Mann. There's let's see, old guy carnivore, which he's fairly new to me. I've been watching him for a little bit, and really enjoy him as well. He's been wonderful. And hold on, let me find. I have to write things down because I get so much going on. It's not that I'm old and you know I forget things, but there's just so many. There's Dave Mack from No Carb Life, and he interviews different people that are going on carnivore diets, doctors and nurses, and just all kinds of people from all walks of life. And he finds out, you know, what it's doing for them, how they came to carnivore. You know, he's got a great channel, and not just, you know, them. There's a multitude of other people. You can look it up. There's just so many. I can't even list them all. But besides the YouTube community, the carnivore community, there's also people like Casey and Callie Means, who have come out. She was a medical professional, a surgeon, and her brother, he worked in the food industry, and now he's a lobbyist. And boy, they really know what's going on with big pharma and the food industry and the medical profession, and they have a lot to say. I highly recommend them. I'll leave a link below so you guys can watch them, because it's mind-blowing what's really going on. And it's so important that you're aware. It's so important that you read labels, even if you don't choose to do this diet, because like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I can't tell you what to do. If your diet is working, if you feel good as I do, if you're full of energy, you're not getting sick, you're not on any medications, you're losing weight, you're sleeping well, you don't have any aches and pains, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, just saying, you might want to give carnivore a try, or even ketovore, like what I'm doing. Carnivore is a little more extreme, and some people go that route because they find by eliminating all these other foods, it gets rid of what other ailments they have. I haven't had any other issues. Just getting rid of sugar saved me. You know, it got rid of all the problems that I was facing, the weight gain, the aches and pains in my joints, not being able to sleep, the sugar spikes, and then the crashes. So I didn't have the energy throughout the day that I do now. I have sustained energy because, you know, I don't have those highs and lows anymore. So yeah, I highly recommend this diet for anyone that's not feeling this way. But if you're eating a diet and you feel great and you get up every morning and you have energy and you sleep great, then your diet's working. But if you're following a diet and you're not feeling that great and you're sticking to it, why? Why would you do that? You know, I see people that are following various diets, and they're on medications, they're overweight, they're low energy, and yet they continue to stick to that diet, you know. And I'm not in any position to preach to anybody. I'm only 6 weeks in. I can't tell anybody anything because I really don't know. I'm just learning. but there's a lot of people that can. If you're really interested and you want to change, there's people that you can listen to. Like I said, I know people that are vegan and vegetarian. My son, he was a vegan for 10 years, I believe, and for the last 13, he's been a pescatarian, and he's doing great. I have a granddaughter. She's a vegetarian, and she's fine. She's healthy. Actually, she became pescatarian recently. She likes sushi, but and they're doing fine. So I would never tell them, oh, you need to change your diet. But I do know some people that are doing that aren't doing as well. So, I don't think there's one diet for everybody. I may be wrong. I often am. But from what I can see, certain people can eat certain foods and it doesn't affect them. They're fine. But then there's other people that really have to limit what they can eat in order to be their best, to feel their best. And I think that's what, people that are doing the Lion's diet, where they're just eating meat, that's the reason they had to eliminate all these other foods to feel their best. And then there's some that are doing, they're considered carnivore because, like I've said before, if you consume more than 70% of your calories in meat, you're considered a carnivore. So there's people that are eating that much meat and then they're supplementing it with some vegetables, some dairy, maybe even some nuts, and they feel great. They have no issues. They're not getting sick. They have energy. They're fit, and it works for them. I think that's the category I'm under right now. I did have to give up the nuts because I think that was slowing down my weight loss, because I noticed when I stopped eating nuts, at first I hit a stall and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have given up nuts, but I'm back to losing weight again. And the reason I think that happened was because of the fat bombs. I wasn't consuming a lot of fat, because I still can't wrap my head around eating fat. But fat does not make fat, even though that's what Susan Powder told us years ago. It's not true. So, but that is just me. I have to realize that it's okay to eat fat. So even though I knew I had to and I was eating some, I wasn't eating enough. So I made these fat bombs where they're just pretty much coconut oil and no sugar, added peanut butter. And so I would have one of those, and those seem to make the difference. They help me on my weight loss stall. So it is important to do that. It's just, it's hard to change. We're creatures of habit, and, we've been brought up to believe that this way is healthy when in fact it's not. And trying to relearn that at almost 63, it's tough. But I've always known sugar was bad, and so giving that up has been the greatest blessing. And I would not have been able to do that had I not been on the carnivore diet. And I think that's going to make all the difference in the world for me. And if you have an issue with that, I highly recommend that you try this too. It's easy. Like I said, it's easy to follow because it's like a decadent diet. You don't feel deprived like you would on most diets. Because I've done, the Jenny Craig and the Weight Watchers and the Loma Linda diet and the cabbage soup diet and, all of them. And never did I feel totally satiated and totally full at the end of the day. I always went to bed hungry. And, after a while, it makes you feel hangry, when you're dieting and you never get satiated. You just start feeling ugh. And that's why most people quit. Well, on this diet, you don't ever feel that way. You feel, I eat till I'm full. And when you eat meat, it makes you feel fuller longer. Like you eat, some steamed vegetables and an hour later, you're still hungry. But with meat, you can eat, a ribeye steak for lunch and not want to eat the rest of the day, honestly. It fills you up that much. And it takes away your cravings for sugar, which thank God, because yesterday when I was stressed, that's my go-to is sugar. And instead I just went and ate some bacon. I would have never thought to eat bacon before this, but it worked. I was fine, and I was full. I went to bed. I woke up and I had energy and I felt good, and I'm not stressed out anymore. So It's just something to think about. You know, if you're looking to feel better, you're looking for more energy, you're suffering from aches and pains, um, and you have other issues like constipation, or maybe you're the other extreme. Some people have, you know, other digestion issues. I'm not going to talk about it, but you know, this helps that. And if you listen to Dave Mack's program, where he interviews people that have gone through all kinds of different ailments, just, you know, different kind of, oh, I don't know, they just everything. I even just saw one, and I want to watch this after I get done, where someone was blind and now they see. I was like, okay, I gotta watch that one. That is kind of miraculous, don't you think? So, but yeah, it's a good diet. It's healthy, and the people in the carnivore community are the best. They truly are. I've never had a community of people. They're the least judgmental. They've never criticized me when I tell them, you know, I'm doing this or that. They're, you know, they're so encouraging. They're inspirational. They seem like they're just a happy bunch of people. They don't seem angry and, like I said, judgmental like some people on other diets do. You know, you watch their channels and they're just blah. Carnivore people just seem to be more passionate, more happy, kinder. They look younger. They look younger. I am not kidding you. You have got to see some of these videos. Some of these people will blow your mind, and it's just from eating a carnivore diet. So, right now I'm sold, obviously, and I'm going to continue doing this. But, you know, if I find out that it's not good, if I was to go to my doctor and find out that, you know, my blood pressure is shooting up, I don't understand the cholesterol thing yet. There's, you know, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. And I know, you know, I'm not supposed to be too concerned about that. So I'm doing some more research on that, because that's another way that we've been lied to, and they're trying to, you know, keep us sick and keep us medicated. So I don't know what to believe. I know it's sad that we can't believe our government. Who knew they would lie to us, right? So anyway, I'm just learning. I've got a long ways to go, and I want to share with you as I learn. So you can take it for what it's worth. I'm nobody. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a regular person who wants to feel better. And right now I feel great, and I just want to share that with other people. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about tonight. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope the next time I talk to you that we will have this whole situation with our water loss figured out, and I will have all new floors. Thank you, God. And I'll show you pictures. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are.